are surrounded by abundance. Breathe it in. It's already yours. The universe is listening. Speak your desires into light. The garden grows because you believe. This is your time. Welcome to Manifestation Monday. Hello, my darlings. Welcome, and welcome to my neighborhood. Welcome. I am casual today, and I hope that many of you are as well. It has been a Monday, and we've needed to just kind of like come down a little bit. But don't you like this little village? I want to live there. That is a goal. Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, June the 9th, 2025, and Jupiter has gone into the planet or into the sign of Cancer. I love it because this is a wonderful manifestation type thing. I want to show you what's kind of going on a little bit for me today. And if I lose the stream, once again, you see that sky right there? Well, if I lose the stream, you'll know why. This is the beginning and what I am experiencing right now. Take a look at this. Well, here we go with another storm. It just got done thundering and lightning. And yeah, the lights are coming on because it is a lot darker. Ooh. There's a thunder. Did you hear that? Hey, I better get inside. See you soon. So that was right out my front door. And that was about an hour ago. And we have thunderstorm warnings and sirens are now going off and it's flashing. And it's like, woo, here we go. Love it, love it. Thank you. I'm so glad that you all love my little background because this is my vibe and it's my gig and this is my house and you are welcome here for Manifestation Monday here at True Oracle. And Mrs. Marie is actually in the chat today. And so we're all glad to have her back and saying hello. Now, first of all, how's it going? Do you all have your little rice jars? Because that's what it's all about. Because I have a little surprise for you. Let me give you this. Let me just show you what I've got for you. Here we go. I got a little surprise. If you go over to our psychic shop, you can see here, I have written a book called The Rice Jar. It is a manifestation printable guide and digital download. And I'm going to put the link in the chat so you can go over there, and I'll put the link in the description when this is when we're through here today. But it is a rice jar. It's really, pardon me, packed with information and a place where you can put notes and tells all kinds of different things that you can put in your rice jar, when to do it, all kinds of things. The link is just now, I just put it in the chat, and I don't think I can pin it from where I am right now. No, I cannot, but I will do that. So it also has a little place for moon phases when you want to update your rice jar based on moon phases. It has a little bit of notes so you can go in and make some notes as to what you put, how you manifested, what you manifested, and it's there for you. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to love this. Now, I want to just gain your attention a little bit right now. I just want to gain your attention. I know we had an all day. I mean, an all day. And that's what I call the anxiety from all day. An all day where your head Just feels like a square peg you're trying to put into a round hole, and it just doesn't work. It's been an upheaval and some craziness going on. Well, there's a lot that is happening in the court that has a lot to do with manifestation. This is pretty wild, but it's actually on track for being correct. I've got to tell you this. During the trial today, this is what I played.
Sit down, demon. Sit down, demon.
And almost wore it out. Now, I'm not here to talk about the trial. And for those of you who are watching, it is the Karen Reed trial. I'm here to talk about how this is fitting in with manifestation. So I made a few notes. Let me click over to the notes right now, and then I'm going to be watching the chat as well. So let me go here. All right. So in starting out with this, my darlings, we could say that today we saw a battle in real time, and it's a battle of energy, frequency, vibration, and manipulation. And that's kind of scary. It's very scary. And especially when you can see it happening in real time and you feel your hands are tied and your mouth has to stay zipped and you cannot imagine during this day how the jury has felt up and down, out, all up and down. Now, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to set the main characters to the side just for a minute. We're going to set Hank over here, the defense over here, Karen with the defense over here. And I want to talk to you about the energy because, in my opinion, the energy of this jury is the most important thing that we can focus on right now. I don't want you to get caught up. I know it's easy, but I don't want you to get caught up in, oh my gosh, the fix is in. My head is popping off. Stop. Remember what AJ said to Dr. Wolf today? Stop it. Stop it. I know that that's how you feel, but I want you to gain command of these emotions, because when you think about it, you're telling the universe, my head has popped off. Well, what good is it if you don't have your head? You can't not only think for yourself, you can't think for others either. Right now, we have to gain control. We have to be in control. The battle, as Miss Ann says, look here, the battle was in full force today. That's right, full metal jackets of energy. That's absolutely correct. But as we go on, you're going to find this is very interesting. The main event today was not just in legal terms, but in energetic terms. The prosecution was caught in a big fat lie. And this was in front of the jury that he did this. He was caught misleading the jury about the cause of the cuts of Officer John O'Keefe's shirts. Now, that's not bad enough, but he implied that those cuts were caused by the SUV of Karen Reed. But they were actually made of the forensic team. Not only did he do that, he grabbed the evidence, because that shirt was in evidence, marched right in front of Dr. Wolf on the witness stand, who did not have a clue about any of this, did not on purpose show the defense team what he was going to do, or they would have objected. And it was manipulation. You see how quickly it happened? And if it weren't for the defense team being on their toes, because you could see the prosecution sat at the table like little bumps on a log with little halos. Now hang in there with me, because there's a method to this. Definitely, it is manipulation. The prosecution and the attorney, Hank Brennan, set out to deceive the defense. And of course, the defense stood up for a mistrial, and the judge denied it. And she gave the jury limited instructions. But I know what you're saying. Zelda, am I on the right channel? I thought this was going to do... Where's the manifestation of this? Pardon me. And it's pollen. But I know, stick with me now. I know you're saying, what on earth does this have to do with Manifestation Monday? Are you ready? Everything. This has to do with manifestation, and it has to do with everything. And I'm going to show you why. The key lesson here is that manifesting in the midst of injustice happens. There's times in our lives when we are standing in truth and someone or something or circumstances or situation tries to silence us. I know it's happened with you, it's happened with me, and you have to basically grin and bear it. The prosecution today made a decision that it was better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. He set out to deceive. You may be completely correct when you're facing a battle like this, and you still may be overruled. That's when we face the true test of manifestation. Now, here we go. Get ready, because now we're dealing with frequency, vibration, and binary receiving of energy. Can you hold your vision when the world tells you that you're wrong? Think about Karen. Think about the defense team. Can they hold their vision when the Commonwealth and the judge, who is clearly biased, in my opinion, is continually just putting a lid on everything they do, squelching everything, and continually telling the jury and everyone that will listen that Karen is guilty and that she is wrong? Can you anchor your truth when the judge bangs the gavel against it? That's a very, very important sound, because quite frankly, here is the gavel. I want you to do this because sometime in our lives, if it hasn't come up yet, it will. But sometimes in our lives, we have to ask that. And I want you to think about this and use it for yourselves. I want you to write or speak this. I manifest unwavering clarity. Because see, sometimes we get so muddied in the muck and the mire and the mayhem of these situations that we become boxed in. And what happens when we start, oh, the fix is in, my head is popping off, it's rolling down the street, it's over here, it's over there. All of a sudden, the visor on your helmet comes over here like this. And now you can't see because you're stuck in that mindset. You're stuck by only a power of suggestion of someone else. You know what happens when you wear that helmet? Imagine a motorcycle helmet. Imagine that being on you. And it contains all this energy. Well, that's what's feeding your brain. Now, tonight, you're going to see a ton of content about the trial, about the defense, probably my card reading too. Hope you watch it. But you're going to see a lot of things going on. And what happens? This energy keeps going into your little helmet, and it keeps swirling so that by the time you go to bed at night, you're so churned up that it's so hard for you to even overcome. That's why when watching these things, because we're not here to talk about the trial today, we're here to talk about the energy and the vibration and why this is happening and what can be done about it and what can be done with us. That's why it's so important while you're watching this going on. 5, 10 minutes, an hour, pause, get up, take a break, make a sandwich, get a cookie, get a drink, go outside, take a breath, put in a load of laundry, make your bed, whatever the case may be. I want you to know that as we go forward right now, this is what I want you to say. I want unwavering clarity. I'm manifesting unwavering clarity. I manifest strength even when justice is delayed. Because, see, this is a key point. Justice is not failing, Karen. It's only delayed. I call on divine order to rise where human error has ruled. Because the reality of this, it is an error. Whether it was intentional or not, it is an error. And we have to gain our clarity. We have to make sure. And you know what? This is what I want to do. I have an oracle deck here. And I'm going to pull one card, and this one card will cover each and every one of you, whoever you are that are feeling silenced when you are the only one that has the truth. For those of you who watch today, for all of you who feel injustice in anything that you are doing deep down inside and in your bones, we are asking, Spirit, show us what energy we must hold in times like this. All right, so I'm going to pull this card for each and every one of us to show us the energy that we have to have in times like this. Okay, you're going to see this card before I do. Are you ready? Here we go. Make sure I got it up right. I do. Here we are. Now, this does not surprise me. This is the energy, my darlings. This is from a Lenormand Oracle deck. It is the 8 of Hearts, and it is the Moon card. Now, ironically enough, Jupiter has gone into a watery element sign of Cancer today. The people that are going to be most affected by Jupiter being in the sign of Cancer, and it will be there for the next year, and you all saw me pull this out, are Pisces, which happens to be Karen, Sagittarius, which happens to be the energy of John O'Keefe, and the Cancerians, the Cancer signs. So what does this mean? You don't have to be those signs, first of all, for it to affect you. I want you to think Karen is the moon. I want you to think about this. I want you to think, you know how when the moon shines and there's a full moon and everybody acts out, ask anybody in the ER, ask anybody in law enforcement what it's like to be around on a full moon, right? Well, the moon is not the only planet that this happens with. All the planets affect us. Sometimes we know it, sometimes we don't. This Jupiter thing is affecting us all. And it's all about clarity. Isn't that amazing? Clarity, prosperity, bringing the truth out, letting people see people for whom they are and what they are. Pardon me for my voice. But I want you to see this card for a second. This moon card showing light, clarity, intuition, clairvoyant, gut instinct, and that is exactly what the defense is doing in the Karen Reed case. They are professional. They don't have to turn to slimy tactics. And this is the 8 of Hearts. And on this particular card, it means to remain curious, remain a little suspicious, and just remain in focus. And this is just not only for the Karen Reed case, it's for each and every one of you that are in this video and who are watching right now. That is so amazing. So there's more to come. Let me share this with you. Remember, family. Karen Reed's team picked the battle today. They did. They stood in truth and said, this isn't right. They picked their battle. Believe me, we all seen all these other crazy things that have been happening in this trial, but they picked the battle today. And though they were denied the mistrial, the energy of this exposure is having a ripple effect. And it's just like throwing this little pebble in a huge, great big lake. We may not see the energy and the vibration, but once that little pebble hits the water, it creates this ring of energy and vibration that not only resonates on the surface, but resonates deep down inside. Truth has a frequency, my darlings. It's just like talking to a water bottle and saying, oh, I love you, and then having another water bottle that says, I hate you, I hate you. You're going to see the difference between the two waters without doing anything. You don't even have to open the cap. Truth resonates and is positive. What happened today resonates and is negative. This will boomerang. This will blow up. And that is why this is a lesson in manifestation to each and every one of us. And this is why, my darlings, we need to be in a position that we know instinctively when to pick a battle and when not to. In the defense, they've let go many witnesses, they've let go many things, and I agree. Now, it's not that I don't feel that there's not information with these other witnesses. It's because they're picking their battles. The battles that they are picking are based on fact and forensics. They've made a plan. It's all a part of manifestation, putting out the best frequency in the end in the trial to the jury. Sometimes when the battle we are called to fight is the one where the odds look stacked, and believe me, in Karen's case, sometimes the odds looked very stacked, where the system delays, silences, distorts, manifests, manipulates, and is riddled with evil because they have one agenda. You see, that's when real manifestation begins, because remember, whether we think we can or we think we can't, we're right. And the fact that the Commonwealth is depending upon lies, untruth, distorted facts will fall away. That won't last forever. It's going to fall away. The jury was in the room when Hank Brennan presented the evidence to Dr. Wolf. The jury was in there. They saw it. That's why Alessi got up and asked for a mistrial. It's because it was in front of the jury, and he asked for jury instruction. And the only thing they got was disregard. But believe me, there's more remedy coming. And there's the ability to have a remedy. So, my darlings, I want you to think about this. Pardon me, you know how it is. Sometimes it's standing your truth when you're picking a battle when nobody believes you. Sometimes it's not walking away even when you're tired. Sometimes it's saying, no, I saw what I saw. I know what I know. And I will not be moved. So tonight, I want you to think how to manifest unshakable clarity. And when you're doing this, your head can't pop off and you can't be so upset about this and you can't be so, look, stinkers are stinkers and the world is full of them. And you've got to focus now, because it's the most important thing, not only that you can do for Karen, but this trial will be over within a few days. So manifesting clarity, unshakable clarity for yourself, is the most important thing that you can do, my darlings. It's to be able to sit here and watch all this unfold with so much clarity that you can see right through the Swiss cheese holes that is presented. Remember, we talked about, maybe we didn't talk about here, but remember, we talked about Christ fasting for 40 days and 40 nights and how the devil came to him and ministered and talked scripture. Remember, the devil knows just about as much of the Bible as many of us, or probably more. And he ministered to Christ to the point that after 40 days, the angels came and ministered to him. Why? Well, it wasn't because Christ didn't know. It's because that is draining and it is tiresome. I also want you to know that you're watching the same thing unfold in this case. And quite frankly, you may be watching the same thing unfold in your life, where somebody is over here and they may have spread a lie, or they may have stolen and they may have denied it, or something has happened over here and you don't know what to do. And this is the time where you need to be stoic, stand straight, and gain that unshakable clarity. Standing in your truth when nobody believes you, not walking away even when you're tiring. Know what you saw, You know what you know, and you still will not be moved, and you will stand strong. There's a divine order over everything, my darlings. Remember, the universe knows your name. The universe knows everybody's name. Call upon the universe. So instead of saying, my head is popping off, the fix is in, I know this is going to happen, this is horrible, you say, you know what? The truth will unfold. The jury will see the truth. My family will someday know the truth, what happened to me, to you, to your loved ones. Your friends will finally understand. Your employee, your employers will know what really happened, because nothing is in secret. And what happened today was a benchmark. Because while the prosecution thinks that this is so funny and so wonderful and that he did something wonderful and that he was going to get away with it, he got smacked. And I know that many of us don't believe that he got smacked hard enough. Honey, this isn't over. This isn't over. And that's how you have to look at life. It's not over. Anything can happen to rectify the wrongs if you have unshakable clarity, if you stand firm, if you know what you know. You have to sit here and you have to ask, where in my life am I fighting a battle that's draining me? Sorry, I'm straining my voice because I'm trying to get this out. And it's okay because I wanted to talk to you. So let's ask that again. Where in my life am I fighting a battle that is draining me? And where am I being called to stand up? Even if it's uncomfortable. Even when you don't want to do it. That's when the Spirit is working with you tonight, my darlings. I've got the chills. That happens every time the Spirit rolls in. There's a divine order. So you know what? Let's pull another card. I'm going to pull a card for all of us. And it's going to reveal more energy that we need in our lives right now. When we feel that truth for ourselves is being buried, and especially when the odds look stacked. Here we go. Here we go. Now, you're going to see this before I do. You got to stay positive. Don't let others plant a seed within you. Oh, this isn't going to work. Oh, we're looking at another mistrial. Oh my gosh, let's talk about appeal. No, we're not going to talk about appeals, because appeals means Karen is convicted. We're not going to talk about that. Here is the energy that we need right now to have clarity, to be unshakable in our own truth. Here is the energy we reunite now. And you know what? I kind of like this Oracle card energy. Let me know if you like this too. Here we go. You're going to see this. Before I do, I still have chills. But maybe it's because you all are here in my village. Because you know what? You are my people. All right, top of the deck. Here we go. This is the energy. Oh my goodness. Look at this. I don't think you can see it very well because of the green screen. But it is the Magician. And you know what I call this card? For those of you who've been with me for a long time, you know, this is the card I call the manifestation card. If you are looking for manifestation and you're wanting to use a tarot deck, this and the Temperance card are the best cards that you can use when you're manifesting. Because this is the Magician card. You have every element at your beck and call. This is no mistake. This is not coincidence that we pulled this card. Let me get a little pointer. All right. You see this little emblem? It looks like a sideways figure 8. That is the infinity symbol. And we're talking about spirit here. And I'm loving this because in this Magician card, I hope you get to see, maybe. No, that's not helping. The Magician card has one arm up. He's got a wand and one arm with a finger pointing downward. The saying that goes with this Magician card is, as above, so below. Well, what happens when you're above? Well, everything is beautiful and truth is abounding. So if you want that above, you're going to have it below. That's the manifestation part of it. This is the card, and you can see here, let me put it up here closely if I can. Kind of looks funny with that green screen, doesn't it? Okay. You see that he has every element at his beck and call. Around him, he is flourishing with flowers, growth. He is flourishing. He has a red tunic on, and that symbolizes love, compassion, control, passion, and here we are, power. 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 Let me take that comment down. I had that up there. Sorry. This is a very powerful card, and it's a very powerful message to you, my darlings. And that very powerful message, and let me show you the next card, because you can see me here. I'm not playing around with the cards. They're coming out as they're supposed to be coming out. On the bottom of the deck, the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands is a card which is which is a fire element, is growth, opportunity, open doors, that fire in your belly feeling. But the wands represent our spirit. And, sometimes we just have to have that spirit around us. We're talking about spirit. We have to have that spirit. Remember, the saying, the spirit of St. Louis, it's talking about that. But at the same time, I want you to know this. This is a card of choice. And that's why it's come out for you. You see, he also has a red tunic, power, compassion, love, control. We are to control ourselves, not just give caution to the wind and hope and pray that things work out. We are supposed to participate in that. Now, my darlings, this is a card of decision, but it's also a card of planning and exploration. Look, he has his back to us. He's moving on. He has the whole world ahead of him. Hello? Yeah. He has the whole world ahead of him. And that is okay. Hold on. We're going to answer some of these questions, my darling. Let me back up. It's very nice. Didn't know that. And why is this above his head? The reason it's above our head, you've seen halos above people when they're enlightened, the yellow. It means, and in fact, depictions of the disciples in Renaissance paintings and paintings from the back in the day have that glow. That means they're enlightened. Well, with the infinity symbol above his head, means that he knows, he understands. He has an infinite amount of power. Where does he get this infinite amount of power? First of all, the creator who also created the laws of attraction, manifestation. That's where it came from. You heard in the trial, I'm going to say it again, you heard in the trial talking about Newton's law. Well, it was God's law first. Newton just borrowed it. Newton just put it on paper. But that's just the way it is. These things have existed since way before the beginning of time. Remember, the earth vibrates on 8 hertz. And everything must fall into place. What happened today was an off vibration. How do we know? Well, first of all, we all knew it was a lie. And the reactions that we all had were very wild. But I'm also going to tell you this. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. And I saw this, and somebody else mentioned it as well. So I'm not the only one. We're all looking. When Hank got his little hand slapped, when the jury was not in the room, there was a very short clip of Hank walking from the podium, and he looks over at Karen, and Karen gave him the laser stinky eye. She was like, how dare you? How dare you look? And you know what he did? He nodded to her in acknowledgement of what he did. And it was not, you could see it was not one of those, pardon me, my bangs are driving me crazy. It was not one of those noddings that, see what I did? It wasn't a snarky nod. It was almost an apologetic nod. He knows. And that's where manifestation comes in. Pardon me. I got to tell you something. Time out. I know you all know our Irish, better than Irish young lady. She ordered, because I have an Amazon link for a wish list, and she recommended that I take rootology. I never thought about it. It's herbal. It's breathe. I've taken 2 days worth, and boy, oh boy, I feel better. But it is getting acclimated to everything. And if you could see outside now, it is pollen. I call it pollen mud. So that's why I'm having so pardon me, but I just want to be here with you. I gotta be here with you. So there we are, my darlings. Yeah, Hank did get flustered, and it was hilarious. And he did basically what he could do to apologize. He didn't get up and say, wow, the defense, you know how he did. So there you go, my darlings. Okay, let me see. We are asking about, we're not supposed to be doing readings right now. We'll have to ask Mrs. Marie how that's coming along, because I was taking a little break to get orders done for the cards. All right. So anyway, my darlings, and if it went through, my darlings, okay, wonderful. We'll get it done and get it over to you. Yeah, green from pollen. There you go. Yes, it was. There we go. All right, my darlings. Bev got flustered too. And I'm going to tell you what, she knew it was wrong because she listened. She listened. She participated. She knew it was wrong. And quite frankly, if something happens to Karen, this is a possibility. I am not a lawyer, but this is, yeah, I didn't say that he didn't. We know he did. We know he did, Beth. We know it. We know it. But this could be an offense if something happens to Karen. It is possible, it's on the table, that Hank could be disbarred. If they could prove he did this intentionally, I feel he did. Many others feel he did, in my opinion. I don't know. So there we go. So anyway, here's what I'm going to say. I want to get back to this because I don't want to talk about, we're not here to talk about trials. We're here to talk about how we ourselves can use this as a template, as a lesson that we are to learn, as we can see this. Because here's the thing. Hank looks like a fool, and he looks like an evil fool, in my opinion, because everybody has seen this so far. My thing, I'm hoping that in the end, the defense can and will use this in their summation for their closing arguments to point out that the Commonwealth showed you wrong evidence. And if he did it once, he did it other times, and you can't trust somebody that does this. Maybe they can. No, they are not shipping from Michigan. No. So maybe they can. Because there's a lot of flaws. But don't think that the jury doesn't see this. How do we use this in our own lives? I want you to think about this, because again, we're not here to talk about that. And I know I keep getting pulled in because it was really something. But I'm here today because I want you to see this, and I want you to see this. These we pulled out earlier. This is a huge lesson in manifestation. And if you can put yourself to the side, step out of the box, and maybe even watch the trial without commentary over the next day or two, and observe, really observe. Don't get pulled into conversations. Don't get pulled into seed planting. Hi there, Rosebud. I did not yet. I didn't know you sent me something. How about I thank you in advance? I didn't get it yet. You may want to check and see when it's delivered. But thank you. That's very kind of you, my darling. Thank you. The jury saw Hank Brennan show the evidence to Dr. Wolf and say, do you know what caused the cuts in the back? I'm paraphrasing. And Dr. Wolf said no. Dr. Wolf was on the stand. You don't have to put capitals there. I know what I saw 3 times today because I went over it. And he said, do you know this? And Dr. Wolf said no. It was only after the jury left and they were on break that Robert Alessi brought this up to Judge Bev and said, this is wrong. We want a mistrial. What the jury has been seeing all along is the snarkiness, the ugliness, the evilness, the glances, the accusations, the treating of witnesses like he wouldn't even wipe his boots on them. Look what, just as reflection, look what he said to Dr. Russell, asking her if her memory was okay. And we heard her audibly gasp at his ridiculousness. So the jury sees this. And at the end, I am praying that the jury will be told, you see this, you see this, you see this. And what you did see was the prosecution alluded on purpose that something was caused by an accident from our client and an SUV, and it didn't happen. And he knew it because it was cut forensically. Now, will he be able to say that? I don't know, because they have to get jury instructions. This is why it is so important, my dear friends, to pick your battles. That's exactly what we watched today. Now, I'm going to give you another example here. And again, I don't want to be pulled into the court, and I know it's my fault because, this is on our minds. But I'm here. I want to point some things out to you that are very, very important. Hi there, Hank. I want to basically say, when you're picking a battle, you have to make sure that your odds of winning are very high. Because most people pick battles, and believe me, I think it's because most people, just like this guy, just likes to battle. That's it. Just like the sound of his own voice. Just likes to battle because he's so miserable. Picking your battles means that you have a pretty high percentage of the outcome and that you know it. As an example, many people don't agree with me about 2 people on their witness list not testifying. I agree with the defense. Don't allow those 2 to testify. Why? Well, because just like this particular situation, how can you trust the prosecution to let in anything that they say, especially in front of the jury? And how can you trust the judge to do the legally right thing, the legal justice of it all? You cannot. Witness testimony in that particular case, they are not witnesses for the defense. It would only be the defense calling the 2 witnesses. And those 2 witnesses could throw a stone into the defense that they may not be able to overcome. Because you can't trust anything they say. Look at the evidence that they've given forward of these 2 witnesses. Most of it, especially of the one, the majority of it is lies, are lies. It's too risky. Thank you, Laura. It's too risky. And the idea that this has happened, the idea, my darlings, that this can happen, that you can't trust people, I hope each and every one of us can take this as a manifestation, because I'm going to tell you, Hank is reaping what he is sowing, big time. And we are witnessing this firsthand, how he will not be trusted again in the legal community. Oh, there'll be some that, put him on a pedestal. But is it worth the risk? Picking your battles in manifestation is so important. Remember, you want unshakable clarity. The unshakable clarity means what? Well, do your research, do your homework, make sure that you know everything that there is to know about the situation before you pick your battle. And if it doesn't look like it's on your side, then this is what you do. Because there's an old saying, ready? Are you ready for this? When in a quandary, do nothing. A quandary means when you're in a confusing situation and you don't know what to do and you can't get the answer, do nothing. Because most times when you're in a quandary, the solution will come to you and you'll be shown what it is that you need to be shown. This is it. There's not going to be anything. It will be they're going to finish up with Dr. La Posada, pardon me, and there will be the last witness is Dr. Rentschler. That's it. No more witnesses. Unless there's an emergency, that's it. No more. And the Commonwealth has filed a motion to squelch what Dr. Rentschler is supposed to be saying. Look, I don't want you to worry about, here's the thing. We have to decide, are calling those witnesses for us because we want to see them ripped apart by this legal team on the witness stand, or is it the right thing to do? Because we've already seen established that these people cannot be trusted. And there's also enough reasonable doubt that it cannot be trusted. Don't forget the dog DNA. Don't forget the keratinized DNA. I don't know if that's coming up, but remember, keratinized DNA is from dog saliva and can be. And all they have to do is just bring up that little part. Because here's the thing. As far as Hank is concerned, if a horse poops in a field, you can't put the poop back in the horse. So if they talk about dog DNA, and see, once again, my darlings, this is why you have to be so careful when manifesting what it is that you say and what it is that you do. You have to be unshakable and have unshakable clarity. So tonight, my darlings, the reality is you need a break. You need a break. I need a break from the trial. We all need a break. We need breaks from this. I think what they want to do, my darling, is bring in somebody that says that there was no DNA so that they can't talk about it. I think that's the idea. But, Standing Stones has the right idea. So instead of just reflecting on today, let's reflect on why Hanky is acting the way that he is. Because he sees that he has no case. Has no case. So he has to manufacture things as things go by. He has to manufacture a few things. Lucky was wonderful. Barrows, wonderful. We have a lot of wins here. Oh, Stephanie, oh my gosh, you are so funny. I manifested, I can't even talk. I manifested myself a cowboy once, but I forgot to set an age, and he was 65 or 6.5. Either one is not good. Oh, that's great. That just made my day. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. That is just hilarious. I got to tell you this. Imagine the digging that goes on into every one of the defense people looking to see if they skipped flushing the toilet after a poop. Well, let me tell you something. Hank Brennan is the turd that won't flush. He just keeps twirling, and he will. And when Karen is acquitted and the truth comes out, and the truth will set you free, Hank is going to be going crazy. But again, I digress because I want you to be here. V says, Lady Zelda, look at you. I love that smile. You look so pretty. I love you dearly, and I feel so much better just listening to you and feeling your presence. Well, thank you, my darling. But I got to say, this hasn't come from me. This is a spiritual thing that I've had to learn a long time ago. People have asked me, how can you watch this trial? Well, it's not only this trial. I happen to be watching another trial or another. I can't watch a trial because it's federal, but I happen to be catching up on things that are going on in a particular court in New York. And believe me, that's some stinky stuff. How do I keep myself? I had to learn a long time ago when looking for missing children. And I can actually say, do you remember the case of Jacob Wetterling? Jacob Wetterling was a little boy that was, I believe now he was in Wisconsin. Can't remember anymore. It's been a while. He was taken off his bicycle by a man. I told the parents and law enforcement that he was so close by they could reach out and touch him. And they didn't believe me. And that's fine. They had a manhunt for a long time. And you know what? They did find him. And ever since then, I had to pull back and not get emotionally involved. And you can do that too. You have to do that because it's not only about this case. You have to do this in life in general. Because someday, some way, somehow, you may run into a situation where you feel like you have to prove yourself. And the more you try to prove yourself, the more it feels like it's tanking. And the more it feels like it's tanking, you feel like you don't have anywhere to go, no one to talk to, nobody believes you. Just remember, number one, the universe knows your name. The universe knows your name, and you will get to the point where you're so strong that you can put a veil up and not let that negative emotion in. I'm going to tell you, I visited a couple of chats today as I was watching the trial because I've been sitting here working and being busy. And some of the things that I saw in this chat were unbelievable. I mean, I can't even believe people talk that way. Pardon me. And you've got to just set yourself aside. And you have to realize that sometimes the human race is a disgrace. And when I realized that, because look, I look for the good in everybody, but I also know that the world is filled with stinkers and they'll turn on you just like that. And sometimes the closer they are to you, the quicker they'll turn in some cases. And that's why you have to watch. That dang orange. Bless you, Leah. Bless your little heart. Okay, my darlings, it is pouring the rain. As soon as it's not raining, I'll go out and check. Thank you. It's so exciting. Thank you. Thank you. But anyway, coming back, because I wanted to acknowledge her. You have to be that solid rock. Why? Well, especially if you have people around you, if you have loved ones, if you even have furry loved ones, they can tell the vibes. And you just have to be chill. The chill factory. You just literally have to chill. And you have to set yourself aside from that. And especially when you're clairvoyant, it is tough because you start taking on energy from other people. That's why I want to really share all this with you today, because I could feel just by seeing these chats. Holy moly. But for me, the most important energy, forget about Hank. We all know what a scumbag he is, in my opinion. We all know what a wipe hole he is, in my opinion. But in anything and everything you do, you got to take care of yourself first. And that includes focus on the emotions. Because if you don't take care of yourself first, how are you going to take care of everybody else? Because you still got to feed the animals. You still got to go out and plow the lower 40. You still got to make dinner. You still got to do laundry. And we just can't curl up into a corner. And believe me, because of this case, I know people that are doing that. And it becomes frightening for them because it is such, they are a sponge for negative energy. And it's a learned behavior. Did you know that? Being a sponge for negative energy is a learned behavior, in my opinion. There is a little voice in the background, and his name is Shaggy Noodle, because they are upset. It has been storming to beat the band. For those of you who haven't seen it, here's the beginning. Here's the beginning. Here's the beginning of what happened tonight. Well, here we go with another storm. It just got done thundering and lightning. And yeah, the lights are coming on because it is a lot darker. Ooh. There's a thunder. Did you hear that? Hey, I better get inside. See you soon. Well, it's still cracking and banging and carrying on out there. It's just something else. It's just something else. Got to deflect that negativity like Wonder Woman. Amen. I like that. I love it. I love it. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. I love that. One time somebody was talking to me and they wanted to be really spiritual. And they came to me and they said, Zelda, I saw clearly in the sky there was a G and a P initials. And I looked at that and I just knew instinctively, I have to go preach. That's what it's telling me. That's what Spirit's telling me. GP means go preach. He said, what do you think about that? And I said, well, it could mean go plow. He didn't like that. But you see, I'm in that mindset. Before you undertake anything very important like that, and especially in a leadership role, you better go plow for a little while. You better get your hands dirty. You better know how that is. You better. Because one of these days, you might get a message and it may just be something that you know is really important. Because sometimes when we're not ready is when the universe is ready for us to do what it is that we're supposed to do. Because sometimes we are just supposed to do it afraid. If we had everything that we are supposed to have in place, then, you know, what's there to learn? If we don't have to experience all these horrible and horrific situations, what's there to learn? That's just the way it is. So, my darlings, should we clear the energy tonight? Should we do that? Look, listen, if I could, when I'm a millionaire, multi-millionaire, because that's what it's going to take. When I'm a multi-millionaire, I will be building a little village like this. I will get a big plot of land. I will be my own contractor. I will hire all of this out and build my little village so I can just go down to walk to the corner and not have to think a thing about it. And I will let you all know so you can come and visit the little village of Zelda. Because look at my little front door. Is that not adorable? And there's a cat in the window. I don't think you can see him, but there's a cat in the window up there. So you know when you see a cat in the window, I must be living there, right? That's just the way it is. Should we clear the energy tonight, darlings, before we go? Please, if you feel so, put a 1 in the chat. You want to clear the energy like we do on the other channel? Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Let's clear the energy. I'll be the first to live in your village. Thank you, Anne. Don't you think it's adorable? Somebody told me the other day I should be Zelda Potter. Listen, I love to laugh. And I learned that many times laughter is the best way to chase this negative energy. Good, good. Okay, my darlings, let's get ready. Get ready. Take a big breath in. Now, you know what to do. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Ready? We're going to do it now. Prepare. And I'm going to put my music on. I'm going to put my music on for my other channel so that way we can get ready. Now, here we go. Y'all can come and move and we'll say hello each day. But I'm not a good neighbor. I just want you to know because I stay by myself. I do. I stay by myself. I wave, I say hello, and I stay by myself. Visit. I'm coming to move in. There you go, my darlings. Hey, I'd like that. Have a little village. It takes a village. It takes a village. Okay, get ready. Let's get ready to clear the energy. I'm going to move my mic because I'll probably hit it. I hit it once, and this thing is wobble. Take a look at that. Wobble City. So we better be careful. Here we go, my darlings. Let's get ready. Clear the energy. Let's go. Now, if you start to feel tingling, it's normal. There you go. Are you tingling? Are you tingling? I sure am. I think I needed that more than anybody. So glad to whomever was thinking about that. That was a lot of fun. And wow, now I'm like ready to go. Anytime, anytime, my darlings, you feel that energy grabbing you, just put on a little music and do that. Push it away, bringing in the good stuff, pushing away the bad, bringing it in, pushing the bad. And you know what else I'm going to see on court tomorrow? But all is well, my darlings, and I just want you to remember that. So, hoping that it ends the storm, and I'm hoping tonight that you too can have that stoic, unshakable clarity that you can manifest. Because you know what, my darlings? The universe definitely knows your name. Thanks so much for being here, my darlings. I sure do love you. Don't forget to go over to the psychic shop. I put it in the, let me put it in here again. This is where you can get the Manifestation Rice Jar ebook. And you can run over there, get it. It's yours. It's a downloadable, printable. It can be yours right now. You start making your little rice jar. And believe me, this thing, I'm going to tell you what, I cannot wait because I'm manifesting some things. Hello. I'm manifesting some things that are just fantastic. And the one thing I want to share with you about manifesting things, two things happen. Many times when you're manifesting, people will say, well, gee whiz, I don't have anywhere to get money from. Do I have to win the lottery? Well, I always say, do you play the lottery? No. Well, then how are you going to win the lottery? Let's be realistic. That's number one. Number two, they want to know how it's going to happen. You don't have to know. Because the one thing about the universe being your GPS system, it's also your buddy. It's also your family. The universe literally will make things happen for you. They will give you opportunity so that these things can come about. I got to tell you a funny little story just before we go. I had a gentleman call me one time and say, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got a car payment, I lost my job. I got a car payment. Do you see what am I going to do? And clearly there was a lump sum of money that was coming to him. And he's like, Zelda, you're out of your mind. I said, no, it's very close to you. I don't know, but it's close to you. It's almost as though you are right on top of it. And he says, Zelda, I love you, but now, listen, I'm so worried. I just think you're full of the brown stuff. I said, that's okay. Maybe I am. But this money is right here on top of you. It's right here. About 10 days went by. Pardon me. About 10 days went by. He called me and he said, I can hardly speak. I said, why? What's going on? He said, oh my heck. I can hardly speak to the point where you were right. How do you see this stuff? And I said, well, first of all, you have to believe it. Believing is seeing, seeing is believing. And people always say, well, I'll believe it when I see it. No, you better start seeing it first. That way you start believing it. When you see it first, then you start believing. When you want something first, you then start believing. So what did he say? He said, I got a letter from my sister. that because he lived, let me preface this, go back for a minute. He lived on a family, not an estate, but a big area. They no longer farmed. There was a lot of land. He was starting to sell off the land because he couldn't afford to keep it, and all this other stuff was going on. It was a very sad situation. His sister sent him a FedEx. FedEx delivered it, but they put it in behind something on his front porch so no one would take the letter. His sister called and said, did you get my FedEx? And he said, what FedEx? And she said, well, they said it was delivered. Did you get it? And I said, no, I didn't. And he said, let me run out on the porch and I'll get it. He gets it. In this FedEx is a letter, an official letter from the estate, from his parents' attorney for their estate, and said, this was left out of the will because we know there are a lot of people out there that are relatives that would be coming out of the woodwork if they knew this. But there is a box for you, and it is buried at such and such place by such and such in the building, by such and such and this and that and this. He said it felt like a treasure hunt. He said, I immediately dropped that letter. I ran out there, and he said, I finally found what they were talking about. And it was a small doorway that his dad put in a milk house on this farm. On the floor, there were things on top of it. They took that off, and underneath in that milk house was like a crawl space. And he said, my son and I opened that up, and he said it was big enough that there was a ladder with maybe 4 steps. And he said there was suitcase and shoe boxes and Tupperware boxes. And he said, we started opening them, and they were filled with money. And I said, oh my gosh. He said, yeah, my dad didn't believe in banks, and he wouldn't put it in the bank. So he said, whenever they wanted anything, they would go get it out of the whatever it was, and they would go buy what they needed. And I said, I hate to ask you. He goes, oh, no, I'm going to tell you. He said there was over $138,000 in those suitcases and Tupperware. He said it was lined up in this crawl space. He said, my dad must have built this false floor over this. He said you couldn't stand up, but you could walk through there. You'd have to be bent over. But he said there were shelves lined up. He said, I was sitting on $138,000 for years and didn't even know it. He said, until I got this letter. He said, of course, I shared it with my sister. We didn't tell anyone. I was able to pay off debt. I was able to do many things with it. And he said, that is something else. He said, and if I wouldn't have called you, I would never have known about it. I said, oh, you would have known about it. Somebody would have known about it and told you. You just manifested it faster. He goes, you know what? I think you're right. He said, because after I spoke to you, I told my wife, he said, this psychic, I can't help but believe her. And she told me all I had to do was say, I've got money. There's money with my name on it. There's money coming there. I've got money, and I'm sitting right on top of it. And he said, I about crapped. To this day, I hear from him every now and then. He's in a farm in Virginia, but I think his wife passed away. His son's taken over the farm. I really don't know. But that was really, really something. So from now on, anytime you want to manifest anything, because I'm going to tell you something, What I'm manifesting, there's absolutely no way that I could go out and work and do that. Absolutely no way. It had to be because the universe is arranging things to happen that I'm included in. And that's how you have to think about things. The universe arranges things in your favor that you are included in. And it is amazing. And you know why? Because the universe knows your name, my darlings. I want to thank you so much for being here. You guys are so very awesome. Much love to you. And I'm going to put on the intro because I think it's so cute. But I want to thank you again for being here. And I will see you again very, very soon. You be well and hang in there. And I'll see you next Monday night. How's that? I'll see you here. Bye for now, my darlings.